Hello everyone, and welcome back to Minecraft in Creative Mode, where last time we built a large spawn area, including this nice structure. We made a path, a bridge, and then we began work on the first proper building of our soon-to-be city. This is quite an officious building. You can see it's brick and copper roof. But if we're going to build a city, and in particular a city that overlooks an important area in the world like World Spawn, we're going to need to defend that city. So that's why today we are going to go to the closest bit of high ground, which is up here, and we are going to plop a great big old castle on top of it. And I've done some scouting around. This hill here, it's fairly big, and it has a fairly nice rectangular section I think would be good for building a castle on top of. So that's why it's what I've decided to go with. It's obviously defensible. There's steep sides and then a river on, well, most approaches really. The only one that there isn't is... Ooh, I'm in a cloud. Hello, cloud. The only one that there isn't that kind of thing is there's some area here between the future castle and the spawn area itself. So I think this is going to be a good location to start from. The very first thing I want to do is I want to clear rid of trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to set a position, and then if I go diagonally across to the edge of the hill, I get to about here on this side, and yeah, this should be good. So I've now selected this huge vast region, and what I'm going to do is find birch logs and replace them with air. Okay, you're not birch logs, fine. Yeah, what happened to your birch logs? Okay. It reckons a whole bunch of blocks have been replaced. That might take a second to update. Or it may not work, because I might be bad at world edit. Well, viewers, I can certainly say that I am stumped. No pun intended, as I'm trying to do deforestation. What happens if I try it on a smaller selection? I'll just sort of try here to... Ah! I know what the problem is. I figured out what the problem is. The problem is that I was using the hpos command when I should be using the pos command. There we go. So hpos selects a block that is the one you're looking at, and pos selects a block that is where you are. And just like that, all of my problems should now be solved, I think. Marvelous. That's all the leaves, and that's all the branches. Now we have cut the tops off of a few trees, which will be fine, I think, in the long run. We can just kind of come down and knock them down. So they don't look too ugly, just left lying around. Oops. Clean up. I'm also going to set the time to day. Oh. It wouldn't be a Minecraft stream if I didn't spend some time manually clearing trees. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. This is going to decay into a really ugly mess, isn't it? Okay, I'll clear these ones as well. You can stay, you're not connected. Right, let's just quickly float around looking for any other half-destroyed trees. Yes, hello sheep. Don't know what happened to that tree. It looks like it's been cut off on two sides. Don't know how that works. It's quite simple. All the trees that manage to be below the cut live, unless I need to kill them to ensure leaves despawning. I think we're nearly all the way around. There shouldn't be too many more. Oops. Gosh, doesn't that water look wonderful with shaders? There's some coming out here as well. There we go. Alright, so what we've got here is a moderately rectangular area. And we've also got, if we wanted, a little front bit that we can use for a sort of a gatehouse, if we wanted to. I actually think that sounds like a marvellous idea. I think I'm also actually going to clear off this section as well of trees. That's a few more sort of decapitated trees that we need to clean up. That's okay. What we're learning already is that building civilization is terrible for the environment. Just from the sheer amount of forest I've already had to cut down, just to clear land, never mind for actually building anything. And that's why you too should go and live in the woods. That beehive dropped. Why did that beehive drop? Maybe they can't exist while unsupported? If that's true, I had no idea that about beehives. One more decapitated tree. There we go. Okay. All cleaned up. Nice area to start with. So wanting to lay out the kind of general gist of where everything's going to go. The way up is going to have to kind of come along this way. In fact, what I could do, I could be very clever. What kind of wool do we want? Let's go with orange wool. So if I do this, I think I can just... Oops. Okay. Actually, I want to make it size 0. So it's... it's replacing. That's lying. There we go. I was hoping I could paint along with a brush along here, but it looks like that's not going to be... Maybe the brush clear? I don't know how to unset a brush. but that's fine, we just won't use it. I was hoping I could just paint a path by looking at it, but sadly it doesn't seem like that's going to be possible. That's fine. So we're going to want the path out to come sort of down here, and then it might weave back and forth a little bit as we go down this slope. But the main thing that's important for us is that it's going to come in around here. And I feel like there is an obvious sort of natural boundary for a little opening bit. Let's find some more wool so we can mark out building structures. Because I feel like these areas of high ground are obvious things to put towers and such on. So if I have a big bit of tower here, I'll need one on the other side to match, which would be sort of, I guess, here-ish. And this will form the entryway. So actually, I suppose the road will want to be right in the middle of that, which will be somewhere over here. Now, some of these we might actually level if I think they're going to get too much in the way of how we're building. Because obviously the thing is, you don't want to have... Your walls have to kind of go above the level of the highest thing that's around you. I think actually what I might want to do is apply a big old smoothing brush to this. I have a smooth brush? Smooth. So that, you know, makes areas a little less crazy. I may want to increase this. If I just sort of smooth out some of these hillocks, so it looks less crazy, it's nicer to sort of build on. In particular, some of these internal ones will probably end up just going. But that's okay, we can smooth them out for now. Now we do have some fairly large dips down here. I'm not yet sure what we want to do, if we want to do anything with them. So that for big spiky bits. Smooth you out a little more. You here. Okay. So now we've got some noticeably nicer terrain to build on, which is nice. So this sort of area, and then so good castle design is you want to have sort of several sections for your keep. So I'm thinking that we probably want to have an actual gatehouse here, and then I can't remember what the technical term is for it. This whole area needs to be made a lot more sensible. There we go. So we'll have a rectangular entryway section, sort of here-ish. That will maybe come up to here. And then, so in the event of a sort of a hypothetical attack, if you come in through the gate, you're then in an open courtyard where you can be sort of fired on from all sides, and then you'll have to breach through again the second layer of gate to get into the actual kind of keep area proper. I should be using different colour blocks for some of this, but that's fine. So if we can path out the walls. Yes, hello chicken. I said hello. So actually looking at more something over here. Like that. There's our rough sort of corner. And we'll build off from the middle of this. Didn't necessarily mean to rock that up, but I suppose it's going to have to happen at some point. To here. And we want to make sure that this is in the right place. Okay, needs to be moved a little bit. There we go. So we have a rough idea of our corners. We probably want to start out building just sort of a corner tower kind of here-ish. We're going to mark this for now. Leave the line to show us roughly where the not necessarily the middle of the tower, but where the tower is going to connect to a wall. We want to find our palette, which we want to be fundamentally similar to what we've used for these walls and for that bridge. So we're talking deep slate bricks and slabs. We want cobbled deep slate wall. We want polished basalt. That's a good starting point. I'm thinking for this tower, so towers in Minecraft, traditionally you'll see people using kind of circle generators. I'm thinking for this, I probably want something, I want an aesthetic that's going to be more flat faces and then also flat diagonal faces, which will ultimately end up being kind of octagonal, if you will. So I don't think I want to use circles so much. I'm just going to knock this back because this could end up being a fairly big tower. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to knock the top layer. Where are you? Doesn't come out now. Yeah, I'm going to knock the top layer off this little hillock. Yes, pluck, pluck, pluck. This is if I can do it. Right. Oh man, there's a big old thing here. Don't like any of this. I'll have to live with that hole being there for now. I will probably have forgotten by the time we load this up next anyway. Right, so in terms of the shape, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I want it in more than that. And on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it would be back another 1, 2, 3. How does that work? Do you think that's okay? I think that's okay. It's a fairly bulky tower, but that's okay. Yeah, okay, I think that's a good profile for our tower. Then on the inside, it may just end up being like that. Yes, okay, I like this. I approve of this design for a corner tower. This one's going to have to be a little bit different because, so we're going to have the wall that comes along. Sure. But this whole section is going to be built out up to and including this corner. I'm going to actually mark out a new wall type for counting with the other wall. One, two, three, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe 19 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 on that side would take us to there. That's probably where we want to go, so we can knock off this last one. Bop. Okay, so this is the boundary for where our gatehouse is going to start. You can see it comes out one from the wall, and then we have a diagonal of 2. Then we're going to go across. Then on this side, so we'll start here. Comes out 1, and then a diagonal of 2. Bump, and then start building across. Okay. And the exact position of this wall might change slightly. Might go in this way a little bit. We don't want to be too close in, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on the gate, that's probably good. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. Oops. That's going to be a big gate actually, we may not need it quite that big. Go in one more. How are we thinking that looks? Still looks fairly big. It can't be too small. We'll go in one more and that'll be done. I think that's looking good for a gatehouse idea. And it needs to have some depth to it. That's probably good enough. If I do this, and I have 1 and then back. No, I think that looks too untidy. I want to have a squared off back here. And the other thing I've noticed is the gatehouse is also doubling as a tower on this side. So do we actually want to bring it further back? We'll bring it 1 further back. And I think having this sloped front and then just kind of a square corner at the back gives it an obvious sort of idea of which way it's facing. I think having good directionality in the build is sometimes quite important. Which sounds like a very impressive thing to say, until you realise that I don't know anything that I'm talking about. Okay, so we now have the outline for where our gatehouse and one of our towers are going to go. I don't want to do these towers. I don't want to do this tower just yet, because our wall for the keep here might not exactly line up, but it also might do. We'll see, I suppose. So having got this baseline down, I want to as with the other build, just sort of make sure that make sure that you can't sort of kind of obviously see under it. As a big old stone wall that's just resting on some dirt, it looks a lot less impressive than a big old stone wall that might well be kind of burrowing down its foundations, several meters deep into the earth. Even though we're not burrowing down our foundations 7 meters deep into the earth, because that's a lot of effort for something that no one's ever going to see. We want to give the impression. We want to give the impression that the dirt is around our building rather than our building being precariously balanced on top of it. So we can cut out these guide blocks. We'll leave the wall one, because that's giving us an idea of how the road is working. We then want to think about bringing it up. And we want to think about what detail we're going to be adding onto this. So I'm gonna bring across here for now. Although this bit will probably change as the archway of the gate becomes an actual archway. But I'm doing this for now because I want to actually fairly quickly greater than deep state bricks. Yeah, just really quickly bring the height of these walls up so I can kind of see what it is we're working with much more nicely. It's taking a second to catch up, that's fine. Okay, that's probably given us enough space to work with for the archway. Okay, I think that's a good arch. So now what we want to do is how deep is this? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So if we grab that, rotate it about, and then flip over here, we can put that down. How does that look as an archway? I'm not enormously happy with it. And I think part of what it needs is for actually although we're going to have the outside of the archway looking like that, I think internally you may want this to look slightly different. I think also this is a really good time for us to bring in some of our secondary blocks. I'm actually almost tempted to bring this whole wall back one on both sides. And then have the archway on the inside be set one further back. Make it thicker at the corners. So it looks better. Perhaps also make it slightly thicker at the bottom, so that it looks supportive. Is that the same height? Yes, that's the same height. Oh, hello, Rain. Brr. Yes, I do shake my head like a dog every time it rains. I do that. I'm not super happy about how this top looks. I think that looks better. Yes, I think that looks a lot better. Oops, on this one. Yeah. Yes, I think that looks a lot better. We then have this. Oops. And then we copy this actual section. Yeah, but like that. Then I think we have a much nicer archway. Right. Is this symmetrical? If it's not, I'm gonna get upset. 2, 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is symmetrical. I think it probably looks slightly uneven to my eyes because of the little Humpty that's over here. Okay, I think the next thing I want to do is I want to make these corners into polished basalt. And I need to do something to add some proper texture to the walls, which might be not like that. Oh dear. Facing equals. What facing options do we have? North, south, east, or west? I don't know what the current one is. You reckon that's north, do you? So I want them facing west. I'm liking that. That's strategy. Okay, yes. Now the other question is, do I want to do something similar here? Right. Half equals top. Shape equals Oh gosh, okay. Inner left, inner right, outer left, outer right. Let's try this. Yes, perfect. First time! Except they're the other way up. Is that okay? Is it okay that they're the other way up? Probably. There we go. Right, so we have these looking fairly nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there should be a middle block somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be this one's the middle block. Hello, sir. So what I'm thinking of doing is having this on every alternating level. That I like. Chicken. Not quite symmetrical. Because of course, although we have this 7 width, we also have this bit here. That's okay. We can grab you. Yeah, I think that's actually okay. Oops. Should have started at the top. If I started at the top, I wouldn't have made this mistake. That's fine. Marvelous. Okay, so now we have a few things that we're doing to give definition to different bits of our wall. Oh, he's gone invisible. Why have you gone invisible, sir? Do you think there are monsters around? Strange. Maybe that's just a thing they do every so often. We want to... I'm going to add one more layer to this. I don't actually want to do that. Yeah, alright. We get it. It's raining. Dip. We might do this then ourselves. Ah. That's interesting. If I update you, you're gonna... No, you're not. You are. Okay, you are. Never mind. Right, okay. So, oh, thunderstorm's over. That's nice. I wanted to send it up by 1 so I can get this. Get this sorted out. Actually, let's keep the polished basalt and just these little bits. There's 2 little bits. There's 1 little bit even. Okay, that looks empty. Okay, we'll keep the polished basalt. Yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah, I wanted to. Just finish that bit off. Okie doke, on this side. Oh. I just want to do this for now. Oops. Facing south. There we go. East. Now we're going to have how many more on this side? 3 more width on each of these, I think. So this may not be an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is now an even number. It's not necessarily the end of the world. So what we could do is have this be sort of asymmetric. Although, of course, we're going to have a wall on that side. So if I have the wall coming off here, may want it further back than that actually, may want it 2 on this side. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 still, but we'll have something that we can work out. The walls may well not end up being only 1 thick. But I'm quite liking our exterior of the gatehouse for now. I'm tempted to see what happens if I sort of do a support structure out like this. And what we think of that. Down. Because that makes the gate a little more 3D. Maybe even one bit higher. Something like that. How am I thinking about that gate? It's almost tunnel-like now. I think I like it, let's go with it. I want to go up to this level. I should do that. Hang on. Oh my god, what a disaster. Oh dear. Right, then this level. Then this level. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I like the weird tunnel gate. Defensively, it's not too much of an issue because it doesn't provide a lot of shelter for the people who might be sort of at the gates attacking. Don't think it's too much of an issue. Right, so the next thing is maximum height. Now the thing about a gatehouse with a portcullis is when the portcullis is raised, so when the portcullis is lowered, it needs to occupy this entire area. I suppose the other thing is actually how are we going to do gates? Are we going to have a gate, a portcullis here and a portcullis here? Or are we going to have one portcullis that's in the middle? Or are we just going to have the portcullis here? I don't know a lot about castle design. Shockingly, I know. But yeah, so the gate has to be as high as this gap, which which is, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 high from this ground level. I am also gonna knock out if I knock out this, then it doesn't sort of, it leaves the gatehouse all at one level. There we go. I've completely lost track of what was I saying. Oh yes, gate. So the gate needs to be as high as this, which is 12. Now it doesn't have to raise all the way up. It only really has to raise up high enough that things can get under it. Which means we can get away with having it get to, say, that level. Right, so now this. So that's 12 high. So that is the height that the gate will be when fully raised. And in fact, I'll turn this into iron bars. You'll figure itself out, I'm sure. So we need to expand it 1, 2, 3 this way. And 2, 5 this way. So that is sort of something we're looking at for our gate. Apart from the weird errors. And actually at the bottom it needs to be potentially even wider. So we could knock a little bit off the top. But at the bottom it needs to be 1 wider than that. How high up? Yeah, alright, hush yourself. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Oh. No, actually, I'm not enormously happy by how these bars seem to come down wonky. There we go. He's like, "You're not?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." That level? There we go. It's raining again, that's fine. Right, so now, in theory... if I have to do that, I could move you down some number of blocks. And that's not quite enough. How many were we? 1, 2, 3, okay. And yeah, we are now filling up this gate area. That's good, that's what we want. The other thing I do want to do though is I want to actually put polished basalt in here. Partly because this will seal up with the rest of the gate. And partly so that it looks a little bit more supported on the inside, not just the outside. There we go. And having done that, I suppose what I want to do is I want to say... There we go, we now have 2 gates. That we can raise and lower. Okay, the next thing we need to do, apart from sorting this out, the next thing we need to do is... So, on the gatehouse, we want to have a way in at the bottom. But we don't want that to be like a particularly significant security breach. Or so do we? Maybe we want to have it at the back here. No, we want a way in at the back, and that will only lead to the ground floor of the inside. So, you have to take the 2 gates, and then you can access the ground floor here. But the people in the ground floor here, like you can get to here without it being too difficult. So we don't want, once you've taken these 2 gates, you can suddenly sort of start getting up onto the walls. We want the way up to the walls to be much further inside. we have a way in... Well, we need to figure out what we're doing with the walls first, actually, don't we? Yes, so I need to... Basically what I need to do is just grab this and say 7 up here, so we're up to the top of that. And then do the same here. Oh dear. Don't know what happened there. Oops. Getting ahead of myself. There we go. Right, so this is the height of our front gate. I also have accidentally alertedly just on this, that's fine. Okay, so that's our gatehouse. And so this is probably also the same height we want this tower to be. Okay, marvelous. So as a person on the ground, yeah, this is an imposing height, but it's not kind of unnecessarily ridiculously tall. It'll be a little bit higher than this because we need to have a floor level above here. So that might end up looking a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that just yet. On this tower, I'm going to have the same basalt pillar in the corners. This wall may also end up going back one in actuality, so it doesn't interfere with these nice jaggy bits that I've got going on. And as a result, I suppose this wall should go in. I do wish that you could... You may even be able to do so, but I do wish that you could grab like just one kind of block. That's where the wall will go. We'll extend it out later when we need to. Right. So we definitely want to have, I think, these. I probably won't have it on this one because this will be covered up by the wall. I'll have it on the ones that are visible from the outside. Oops. For the corners, we want to have. Who's that expires? Shape equals. Yeah, probably left. Yes. Oh, half equals top. Like that, there we go. Marvelous. Do I need this on the inside? Don't know that I necessarily do. I might leave it just as. I tell you what I will do. South? Yeah, okay. If I do it on just these ones. Like that. Line. There we go. Okay, marvelous. I've also missed this. It's fine. There we go, and I forgot to do as well. East, probably? Yeah, there we go. Okay, marvelous. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do this until I bet, but no. We'll leave it there for now, see if we end up using it. So, what we've got is the exterior of two towers. I might run a wall up here, see how that looks. Quite well known for my putting walls in corners. Yeah, okay, I'm liking that. What do I think? Yes, I think I like that. Okay. So we're doing alright, we've got something we like. Hold on. Okay. We now probably want to work on what the actual walls are going to look like. So at their fundamental level, they are going to be, obviously, this. On command. But we want to make them look a lot more interesting than that. Obviously. How big is this section? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks wide. Which is honestly an extremely awkward number. And what I might do is have sort of like a repeating pattern that is, say, 7 blocks wide. And just have then, whenever you get to the end of a wall, like the beginning of the tower, you just have sort of a little bit on the end. So if I have something that looks like this, now in this middle column, hang on. That was a bit too far. That's fine. So how does that look for a wall design? I think I quite like that. I want bits going up this side as well. Maybe. Okay, I'm liking this. Yes, I am. Oh my god, really? Okay. Yes, we have this as kind of a repeating section that is 7 blocks wide and repeat, and then at the end we can just have a little bit of blank space. I think that'll probably be okay. It's better than trying to make all of our walls conform to sort of the same size. On the reverse, now, the questions for the ages are always, are you going to be able to walk about inside your walls? I think for lesser castles, you probably don't have to be able to do that. But I think for a fairly important castle like this one, you probably want to be able to do that. Now, part of the problem with that is we haven't really engineered our walls with that in mind as a concept. Well, we haven't engineered our towers with that in mind as a concept. Now, that is fixable. The only question is what's the best way to fix it? So let's do this for now. Hang on. That might be the best way. To just move this bit. And then change these stairs. Change them to what? Don't know yet. Maybe just have them as regular bricks. Maybe have them as stairs facing in. That is a problem because they're on the corner. Half equals top, comma, shape equals E in the left. What way around does that send you? So I want you facing south. Something like that. I think that probably works. And you need to be facing east, I think? Not east. West. No? You need to be facing north. I've now tried every possible facing. Do you also need to be facing south? Oh, I guess you do. Okay. Corners, man, how do they work? I don't know, I can tell you that much. Yeah. You want it like that, and then inside we'll just have that, the internal wall, and we'll put a door in it where we need to. Okay. Okay, this is working. Oops, we fell. We ran out of flying juice, but that's fine. We could have the same wall structure on the inside as we do on the outside. I'm not sure I want to. I think I want to have the walls look more sort of braced. The question is, what's the best way to achieve that? We could just do what we've done with the gate. Just sort of have, you know, buttresses basically. While I like that conceptually, I'm not sure I like how that looks so much. What if I have this? Excuse me for just one moment. My apologies. Just had a little visitor there. How do I think this looks? We are going to be wrapping this up fairly shortly. We want to get this bit of design finished first. It looks more utilitarian. I think I like it so far. We can have it sort of build up in a sort of a spire type way. Okay, I think I like that. And, you know, so this does provide, like, some proper shelter for people on the walls from the towers. That's true. But this is the inside of the wall. If there are enemies here, they probably aren't trying to breach the walls anymore. Well, they might be trying to breach the interior walls, but then the interior walls will probably look like this when you're viewing them from this angle. So that won't be so much of a problem. I think I like that design. I am thinking that the other thing I want to do is I'm going to want to replace these insides with basalt. Marvellous. Then I grab that block down to that block. And I stand, let's say, here. Put that there, then we have our repeating section. Marvellous. So that's where we're going to leave it there for today. I hope everyone has enjoyed watching. If you have enjoyed watching, please consider dropping me a follow here on Twitch, where I'm at @disfordemise_. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider liking the video and subscribing. Over on YouTube, I'm just disfordemise. And you can follow me on Twitter, also at disfordemise, to find out every time I go live in the future. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope I will see all of you again next time.